Everybody wants to face each other. So is that where we're at right now with Canelo Crawford?
No. Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
Yeah, he needs the money.
How can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter.
You know, I'm going to make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all going to cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. You know.
Gervonta Davis predicts that Canelo Alvarez will dominate Terence Crawford when they finally meet in the ring. Davis emphasizes that Crawford is not invincible, recalling how Yerkes Gamboa was able to hurt him in their fight. For Davis, this proves that Canelo's combination of power and size will be overwhelming. He believes the gap between the two fighters is obvious, and Crawford's previous vulnerabilities could resurface when facing a stronger, more dangerous opponent like Canelo.
We got between Canelo and Terence Crawford. Tank is going to pick Canelo to knock Crawford out. We all know Tank had his little run-ins with Bud and things of that nature, to where Bud say he will fight Tank at 147, which is crazy to me, right? Tank ain't going to no damn 147. But nonetheless, Gervonta Tank Davis go ride with Canelo. And, you know, he a smart man. He a smart man. Because I think everybody and their mama see that, you know, Canelo Alvarez is too big for Terence Crawford, just like Terence Crawford knew it. But Gervonta Tank Davis always picked Canelo over everybody. Doesn't matter who it is.
Terence Crawford has made a career out of proving his doubters wrong. The undisputed champion of both lightweight and welterweight is now setting his sights on the monumental challenge of facing Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. Despite concerns about size and power, Crawford remains confident that his skills will carry the day. In a fiery statement, he declared that anyone who doubts him will go home crying after fight night, showcasing his mental toughness and determination as he takes on one of boxing's boldest moves yet.
I don't see Crawford knocking Canelo out. If Canelo lets Crawford get away with boxing, he may have a shot. If Canelo comes in there and boxes and cut the ring, Canelo has a chance of knocking Crawford out.
What?
Yeah.
You said Canelo got a shot at knocking Crawford out?
I think he does.
Wow.
Remember, Crawford coming up for 135. And I don't know if y'all remember when he fought Gamboa. Gamboa rocked him a little bit too. And we talking about Canelo Alvarez.
That was a long time ago if we gonna do that. Canelo got rocked by Jose Miguel Cotto.
I didn't know that. But on the real, Canelo has faced a bigger opposition. He's faced a bigger and a harder punchers. Who has Crawford faced that's a big puncher? Canelo's taking more hard punches than Crawford. The tail of the tape is going to be if Crawford can take the power from Canelo, and can Canelo box with Crawford and potentially hurt him and finish the fight.
Gervonta Davis, one of boxing's brightest stars at lightweight, has been vocal about his take on the Canelo versus Crawford matchup. Known for his explosive knockout power, Davis consistently picks Canelo Alvarez to come out on top. He points to Canelo's natural size, strength, and extensive big fight experience as factors that could overwhelm Crawford, who has never competed at such a high weight. For Davis, Canelo's proven track record across multiple divisions makes him the safer bet, even against a fighter as skilled and versatile as Crawford.
Terence Crawford is a dog, that's a fact. Heart of a lion, that's a fact. Great boxer, great skills, high IQ, future Hall of Famer, that is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. You know what else is a fact, ladies and gentlemen? Terence Crawford cannot afford to get hit with these same shots by Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is not the mean machine. Canelo Alvarez is not Sean Porter. Canelo Alvarez is not Gamboa, and he's for damn sure not Errol Spence Jr. This like Terence Crawford is not Floyd Mayweather or Lara. We trying to say that Bud's gonna do the same thing that Mayweather was able to do. Two different styles, two different type of fighters. Mayweather is a pure boxer. Terence Crawford is not a pure boxer. That does not mean that he can't box. Before y'all try to kill me in the comment section. Yes, he has the ability to box, but Terence Crawford is a boxer puncher, ladies and gentlemen. He gives angles, but he doesn't move like a Floyd Mayweather or a Lara. He's not on his toes like that. And he also likes to exchange when he gets hurt, and that can be to his detriment. And if he exchanged with Canelo a little too long, it might be NyQuil time. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section.
When it comes to his human experience, Canelo Alvarez stands unmatched in modern boxing. From taking on Floyd Mayweather early in his career to consistently challenging bigger, stronger opponents, Canelo has proven time and again that he thrives under pressure. Supporters argue that, despite his pound-for-pound brilliance, Terence Crawford has yet to face the same caliber of larger opponents. This history of overcoming size disadvantages only strengthens Canelo's confidence as he prepares for another monumental super fight.
boxing odd makers have Canelo versus Crawford Gillette close. Now, obviously, Canelo has the size advantage. He's 3 weight divisions heavier than Crawford. And most people believe that Crawford carries the skill advantage, being an overall more skilled fighter. Neither guy is known for tremendous defense, but it's still solid. And of course, they're both chiseled into the Mount Rushmore of pugilism for their ironclad wills. The one area that people say Canelo might have the advantage is in experience fighting heavier dudes. Now, obviously, all fighters spar out of their weight classes, but when it comes to actually fighting in the pro ranks with those 10-ounce gloves, Canelo's the only one between the two of them that has a multitude of experience fighting super middleweights and light heavyweights in the pro ranks. So does this slight advantage give Canelo the nod and make him a bit of a favorite? Or is Crawford going to prove that size doesn't matter and it's skills that pay the bills? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments.
Analysts are quick to caution fans against leaning on past comparisons when sizing up this matchup. Canelo Alvarez is not Errol Spence Jr., and Terence Crawford is not Floyd Mayweather. Canelo brings his own signature style, explosive power, slick upper body movement, and an almost granite chin. Crawford, meanwhile, showcases unmatched adaptability and switch-hitting skills. Experts stress that this fight can't be measured by previous blueprints. Instead, it's a fresh clash of styles between 2 extraordinary fighters, each bringing something unique to the ring.
He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just think that moving up in weight without having fights to merit that, I think it's the wrong move. But he couldn't handle a 154-pounder the way that he was handling everybody else before. And Madrimov is not Canelo. Canelo's been used to fighting all the bigger guys and has done very well with the bigger guys. Nobody's hurt him. He's fought the biggest punch. He fought Gennady. Come on, he fought Gennady twice, really the good fights. And then Bivol hit him with everything and couldn't hurt him. So how's Terence gonna do that? I don't think he can. I see Canelo going away maybe in a 16-12, 17-13 kind of fight. The first 3 or 4 rounds will be difficult for Canelo, or a little harder for Canelo because of the speed. But once he just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, the first 3 or 4 rounds where Kell was fast. But Terence is going to expose himself when he throws his punches, and Canelo's going to finally get this timing down, and I think we'll be able to control the fight.
Do you see a version of Canelo now that is slowing down? Obviously, a lot of people might point towards the Williams Skull fight, but again, despite how that one played out, people talk about his lack of motivation maybe for a fight like that. But do you see this version of Canelo declining?
No, I think the lack of motivation because of the opponent could have been the reason for that fight. I think these guys at that level, once they get a name, they're looking at a name. It's a different story. They're not only their motivation, but they're waking up earlier in the morning to go run. All those things come into play because they know they have a challenge ahead of them.
One thing with the weight, and again, Buddy spoke to me about this, is he said that if he was Terence, he'd come in just over the 160 limit, so he's just inside the 168 limit to try and keep a bit more of that speed instead of just like bulking up. Do you agree with that sentiment, or if you was Terence, would you just bulk up?
Well, let me say this. I, like everybody else, I read or I watch some of the writings on the internet, and to see that Terence is weighing 186, 190 pounds, I think that's completely the wrong way to do it.
Canelo Alvarez enters this fight with a clear edge in experience and natural size. Competing at 168 pounds is routine for him, and he has faced numerous Hall of Fame level opponents throughout his career. Terence Crawford, meanwhile, is widely regarded as one of the most technically skilled fighters in the sport today. His timing, counterpunching, and ability to switch stances make him a nightmare for any opponent. This matchup ultimately sets up a thrilling battle. Canelo's size and experience versus Crawford's technique and adaptability.
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent Mayweather had it. You know, you guys were just mentioning right now that he doesn't. Crawford, Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills. We give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how, you know, his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork, because of the weight. So we'll see. You know, I just hope he's not just training and getting big to survive and go the distance, because maybe that's a win for him. Maybe he's thinking, if I go the distance with him, that's a big win for me. So, you know, I just hope not. I expect Crawford to actually pull up some runs and maybe even pull up the fight. But if he's too heavy, too big, he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna have to exchange punches, and that's where the danger comes in.
Veteran trainer Abel Sanchez has voiced strong doubts about Terence Crawford's decision to face Canelo Alvarez. Sanchez points out that Crawford has never competed at this level in terms of size and natural weight, making the challenge a risky leap. He emphasized that moving up too quickly can expose even the most skilled fighters to disadvantages that talent alone cannot overcome. Using Dmitry Bivol's victory over Canelo as an example, Sanchez noted that Bivol, a natural light heavyweight with significant size and stylistic advantages, still had to perform at his absolute peak to earn the win. The message is clear. If a bigger, stronger fighter like Bivol had to push himself to the limit, Crawford's task against Alvarez becomes an even greater uphill battle. Sanchez's words underline just how monumental the challenge ahead really is.